All right. So, welcome everybody to this month's Journal Jumpstart. I'm Laura Ellie Hudson, founder of Resilient Spirit, and I work with creatives and change makers and people who long for greater fulfillment and aliveness in their lives. And I help my clients listen deeply to their soul voice and rewrite their inner stories to reclaim their unique purpose, passion, and power so they can finally heal their relationships, complete their projects, and make the difference they were born to make. So, welcome to this Resilient Spirit Journal Jumpstart. It's a 15-minute meditation and writing time in which you can pause, listen to your body, mind, and spirit, and get your authentic voice and deep wisdom out from inside and onto the page. And we'll have 5 minutes of meditation and 10 minutes of writing. So if you haven't already, I invite you to get your writing materials and have them ready, and then find a comfortable position, as comfortable as you can get wherever you are, seated or standing, and we'll begin. And today I have this fun little tone drum thing that I'm going to use as our transition sound between pieces of this. So, all right, let us begin. All right, so take a few deep breaths, and let's begin with that first one by breathing in and raising your shoulders up towards your ears. Breathe in and then let it all out in kind of a big whoosh. Just let it go. And then do that one more time. Breathe in a big, full, deep breath. And let it go. And one more time. I think 3 is always a good number. Let's breathe in, big, deep breath, shoulders up. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, and then let it all out. And maybe you might want to take a couple of head circles to kind of get your neck and loosened up, kind of let your nose carve a line around in a circle one way and then in the other, and just kind of loosen out any tension that you're feeling in your whole body, and loosen up that energy center of your voice and your self-expression. All right. Today for our breathing time, I'd like to teach you a box breath. And some of you may have done this before, but it is a 4-part breath. It is a pattern which you can use to clear your mind and calm your whole body so that you can have greater focus as you write. So just take a couple regular breaths just to get started. Just long, deep breaths. And then the way this breath works is you breathe in to a count of 4. And as you breathe in, you sort of imagine it with your mind's eye that you're tracing one side of a box. So up one of the sides of the box. So you breathe in for 4. And at the top, you hold the breath for 4, and you kind of imagine tracing the top of the box. And then you exhale for 4 as you trace the other side of the box, and then you hold it again for 4 to trace the bottom of the box. So that's the general gist of it. So you're breathing in for 4, holding for 4, exhaling for 4, and holding again for 4. All right, so let's give this a try. And one of the things I will do sometimes is use my heartbeat as the count. So I'll put my hand on my heart and allow myself to notice my heartbeat, and then use that as the sort of drum by which I do this 4 count. So breathing in for 4, holding for 4, releasing for 4, holding for 4. Just see if you can continue with that pattern as we continue to breathe. And if you get lost at any point, or this is just really uncomfortable, just come back to regular, smooth, deep breathing. So keep breathing. Now just maybe come to smooth, steady breaths. And I'm going to read a poem. And I invite you, as you listen, if there's a word or a phrase that stands out to you, you may want to use it as a starting point for your writing, as when we come to it here in a minute. So this poem comes to us today from Adrienne Maree Brown from her book Emergent Strategy, where she uses it as a way of describing the titles idea and in this book that she's written for world changers, for leaders of anti-racist and equity, peace and justice and earth advocacy movements. It's a poem kind of about the movement of change itself. And so I invite you just to listen with the ear of your heart as you continue to breathe deeply. It's called A Complex Movement. Over and over again, it becomes known the peace we seek is seeking us, the joy of full bud awaiting our attention, justice in our hands longing to be practiced, the whole world learning from within, this thrilling moat in the universe, laboratory, labyrinth. Internalized demands. You are the one you are waiting for. Externalize love. Bind together us into a greater self, a complex movement, a generative abundance, an embodied evolution. Learn to be here. Critique is a seductress. Her door is always open. So what if you get some? We are going further, past reform to wonder. This requires comprehension that cannot fit in words. Out beyond our children, beyond the end of time, there is a ceaseless cycle, a fractal of sublime, and we come to create it, to soil our hands and faces, loving, loving, and loving ourselves and all our places. So that's from Adrienne Maree Brown. And I'm going to put this poem, a link to this poem in the chat for those of you who are on with me right now, on Zoom with me. And I love this poem. It has a lot of energy and movement in it. And I think that really fits the stage of the Transform Your Story cycle that we're in right now in the larger program. And this month it's the experimentation phase of the creative process, which has a lot of energy and movement and experimentation and growing and so forth. So my invitation for you is that as you write, as we start our 10 minutes here, and you write on this prompt, write fast and freely. Kind of just try to write without even thinking about what you're writing, and allow yourselves just to put words next to each other on the page with a lot of energy. And if you jotted down a phrase from the poem, you can let that phrase lead you wherever it will take you. Or perhaps you want to work with this question. What peace are you seeking? Or what justice is in your hands longing to be practiced? And I'll go ahead and put those in the chat for you who are on Zoom with me. And then I also I got this habit from the person who taught me this form of meditation and writing. She likes to give some words to work with. So if you want to work with some words, here are some you can play with. Bud, attention, door, wonder, children, and soil. So I'm going to start our 10 minutes and go ahead and write freely and just keep breathing. Keep breathing as you write, and allow whatever comes up first to get you started. First thought, best thought. Just let the words emerge as they will and trust that whatever words or phrases you are given are good enough. And let yourself play on the page. So keep breathing, keep writing. Have just a couple more minutes left. There's about just a little less than a minute left in this practice. Okay. And so that completes the journal Jumpstart. Of course, if you have gotten started writing something here, you can of course take more time and continue working on it after we are complete. For those who are on Zoom with me right now, we will pause and take a little bit of time to share or listen to each other as we feel led. But for anyone who is watching the recorded version of this later, I wish you the best. Come again next month, another practice on the second Thursday of the month, and be well and go in peace.